everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel, and I hope that you all are doing good and staying at home, as I am also stuck at home for about 40 days now, if I'm not wrong. And guess what, I'm enjoying it too. So I decided to paint an oil painting study of these flowers and thought that I should share some oil painting tips and tricks for beginners which have helped me to start oil painting. For this painting I am using a cheap quality canvas paper, as I am running out of my art supplies but cannot buy them any soon, so I had to adjust with these ones. So let's get started with the tips. My first tip is that you have to just get started with it, as you learn things when you actually start practicing it. Because I used to think that oil painting is done by professionals and artists and it is not meant for me. Because when I was 15, I wanted to learn oil painting and I thought that it is the most hardest thing. But when I actually started painting after almost a year, I realized that it isn't that complicated to do. My next tip is that you don't need very expensive supplies to get started with. You can work with students' grade oil paints and they work good as well. And yes, you need linseed oil and terpentine oil also. As you use water in watercolors to dilute your paint, you need linseed oil for painting with oils. You can also use gamsol instead. You need turpentine oil to wash your brushes. My next tip is to cover your canvas or paper with some color before painting over it. I have talked about this in my previous video as well. This helps to get contrast and reduces the overwhelmingness of the plain white page. It also works as a primer if you are using a cheap quality paper, as I did earlier in this painting. I covered the whole page with sap green acrylic paint, but you need to make sure that you dilute the paint very much. While painting with watercolors, you usually start with the lightest gradients and areas of the painting and then slowly build the dark gradients of the painting. But while painting with oil paints, you need to do the reverse thing. You have to start with the darkest and then achieve the lightest parts of the painting. The next important thing you should keep in mind while painting with oil paints is that you have to work in layers. And by layers, I mean that your first layer should be dilute and you have to slowly increase the saturation of the paints in the preceding layers. That is, you simply have to use lesser and lesser oil medium for each succeeding layer. The number of layers depends upon you. You can go with 1, 2, 3 or even 4 layers. It just depends upon how detailed you want your painting to look like, or until you get satisfied with your piece. And this brings us to our next point, that is, don't overdo the layers. And what I mean by that is, once you have started with the first layer and you have actually covered the whole surface of your painting with your first layer, then you should just stop and wait for your first layer to dry completely, as if you repaint on the wet oil paint, it will only result on removing the paint which is already on the surface of the paper rather than adding the new one. So it is better to let your painting dry for a day or two and then repaint on it. I'm sorry if this whole layer thing is confusing you all out. And the last thing is, just don't give up and keep trying until you succeed. So these were all of the tips which I learned from my own experience while learning oil painting, and also from the oil painting artists on YouTube. So if you found this video helpful, then don't forget to like, as this encourages me to make some more videos. And don't forget to subscribe if you already haven't, and please let me know in the comments if I should make more tutorial videos. Thanks for watching.